Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. In this video, I will present the introduction to script writing presentation. And before we're going to the presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Abdul Perdana and I'm from 4BC class. In this slide, I will explain about the article that I choose for this presentation. So the title is Digital Transformation in the Classroom, Storytelling and Scriptwriting in Instructional Designing of MOOCs. And the author is Halfdan Hawks-Bacon, and the journal is from European Journal of Education, volume number 2, issue number 3, and publication year 2019, and the total pages is 5 pages and start from 32 to 40. Abstract. Over the years, a body of studies on online learning has documented low completion rates in MOOCs among learners, an educational challenge that has created the phenomenon final participation. This educational challenge refers to that thousands of online learners registered, but only small groups complete MOOCs they sign up for. Normally, persons who complete online courses have a demographic background: ambitious males in their 30s with a master's degree working in IT or business and management. Such as factors raise concern among researchers about the overall quality of MOOCs and how they are designed to foster engaging learning experiences. Recent research concludes that the instructional quality of MOOCs is low and that MOOC designers need to rethink how they create future online learning experiences. In light of this matter, this working paper forwards a conceptual approach on how online course designers can use storytelling and script writing as pedagogical strategies to enhance the instructional quality of MOOCs. The subject matter is exemplified by outlining the course design of a MOOC aimed at preparing teachers to use digital technologies in classroom setting. The learning material of the MOOC is research-based and builds on a field study that explored how a teacher used digital technologies in foreign language training at a Norwegian high school. Introduction. Since inception of MOOCs in 2008, a growing research stream pays attention to record the social dynamics of learning communities materializing in large online courses. For example, it is now widely established knowledge that MOOCs have large dropout rates at almost 90%, and the complets are often proficient learners. In many cases, males in their 30s holding a master's degree and working in IT or business management. This pedagogical weakness creates challenge for the MOOC community, a topic that researchers have for some time referred to as distributive participation. As a result, the low MOOC completion rates are spawning a new series of studies that attempt explore and predict the behavior of online learners who are about to drop out and what strategy can be used to retain them. Studies conclude that the instructional design of MOOC is of low quality, meaning that online course designers need to put more focus on how MOOCs are designed and develop effective pedagogical strategies for online learning. For example, an approach can be to use storytelling and script writing in instructional designing of MOOCs. Here, course designers can use story technique as plots, characters, and narrative point of view, and embed such elements into the overall course design of online courses as a way to create engaging learning environments. In this way, course designers will use storytelling techniques applied in documentaries to tell a particular theme. Such approaches can help create authentic learning experiences that online learners can identify and interact with, and can improve the pedagogical quality of online learning. Part 1. A need for storytelling and script writing instructional design of MOOCs. In a highly provocative and normative study of the instructional quality of online courses, Margarian et al. 2015 conclude that MOS's score essentially low on instructional design principles. Based on sample of 76 randomly selected MOSs, Margorian developed a quantitative approach for quality criteria of MOSs. Quality criteria based upon the first principles of instruction, a framework that builds on the work of Merrill 2002, 2009, and 2013, and Margarian 2008, and Morgan et al. 2005. For example, for MOC to be regarded as qualitatively designed, the learning activities should include 10 principles essential to learning. First, online courses need to be problem-centered in the sense that online learners work best when they learn about real-world problems. Second, MOOCs should include elements of activation, meaning that learning takes place when online students activate skill and knowledge to form a new skill. Third, learning activities in MOOCs must involve the ability for demonstration, meaning that learners can observe the skill they are going to learn. Fourth, online learners must have the possibility to apply what they have learned to solve a problem, entailing that application is quintessential for learning activities in MOOCs. Fifth, integration is the possibility where learners can discuss and depend a skill they have just learned. Six, MOOC should contain the prospect for students to contribute to an online communities with collective knowledge. 7. Online learners should have the possibility to work together with others by forms of collaboration. 8. A MOOC appears to be of quality when online learners possess the option to work across different settings with different learning resources, meaning access to differentiation. 9. Online learners should have the possibility to have access to learning resources coming from a real-world setting, implying the principle of authentic resources. 10th, or the last, for learning to take place in MOOCs, students need to have feedback from expert instructors and peers on the assignment they perform. Therefore, an approach of instructional design flow in MOOCs, one can begin with looking at how MOOC creator can use storytelling and script writing as pedagogical strategies in instructional design process of online courses. If a novice teacher learns the practices, success and failures of peer, it can be plausible to assume that this can create the basic for personal identification to engage with the story of the digital classroom teacher. The challenge for the that remains to be solved is how to create learning activities related to the told story. For example, this can be achieved by using digital storytelling when I see different from storytelling. Digital storytelling is praised as a pedagogical strategy that can empower learners to become creative and critical thinkers. Learners can select a random topic of interest and carry out research and present interesting stories by use of digital technologies. Now learners can engage in network learning interaction on global platforms and be a part of online learning communities and receive feedback from peers. Web 2.0 technologies for facilitate for this as they allow everyone to be content producer. In the future, MOSs. For example, this means that course designers are challenged to safe learning designs where learners work continuously with digital content throughout as a learning process than working with learning material consisting of videos, text, and tests. Part 2. An example of using storytelling and script writing in instructional designing of MOOC. As the previous part established that storytelling and scriptwriting as a pedagogical strategies for creating engagement in instructional design process seem not to be well developed, considering an example of practical use in MOOC pertains. The planned MOOC we will consider is called the digital transformation in the classroom and is based on a sociological fieldwork conducted in a classroom at a Norwegian high school. The MOOC is based on a PhD dissertation, conference proceedings, and journal articles. Then, in what way are aspects from storytelling and script writing used in the MOOC course design. The MOOC is planned to run out the international MOOC platform FutureLearn and fuses FutureLearn's template and approach to learning, which is rooted in a social constructionist approach to social learning. Overall, the MOOC contains about 50 learning activities. The main challenge in this instructional design of the MOOC, nonetheless, is to convert research knowledge to a coherent online course consisting of many different unique building blocks that uses many different media modalities like text, video, pictures, sounds, animation, etc. The overall of approach adopted to work with storytelling and scriptwriting used in the MOOC to create forms for online engagement. However, is to develop what I call a recursive core theory action reflection model. The way you use storytelling and scriptwriting in the MOOC is connect them to a story about a teacher who has used digital technologies in a classroom setting. In the MOOC, learners get to know a female Norwegian high school teacher, Inge, who has tried out digital technologies in foreign language training, which the research is based upon. Inge teaches French, English, and Spanish and has an interest for digital technologies. Inger has worked in the Norwegian high school system for 3 decades. Inger has no formal training in ICT, but has for many years used digital technologies in her classroom. Inger surfaces in the MOOC videos and is followed and explained by the course instructors, half done the researcher who was present in Inger's class says. The story about English digital classrooms practice is divided into the 3 weeks which makes up the MOOC. In this sense, one can argue that the MOOC consists of 3 modules. In general, the story about English digital classroom practice has many overlapping challenges one finds in adopting and implementing new technologies in organizations. This means that the learners are mainly introduced to particular strategies they can use in planning and implementing digital technologies in classroom setting, which are modeled after Inger's approach. The MOOC has approximately 40 videos. 28 are self-made video and the remaining are YouTube videos. Each video has a learning objective and are related to the overall course. These are predominantly instruction based on and are used to explain theoretical concepts. The course leader start talking into the camera and explain a learning strategy Inger used. For example, and later the learner hears the course instructor talks by use of voiceover and see pictures, illustration, and edited video parts. Second, the MOOC has several interview videos. The interview videos explore how Inger planned her digital classroom practice and the outcome of using them, focusing on benefits and challenges. Depending of use of definition, the MOOC has many learning activities, 53 that are essentially connected to the same number of steps. The instructional design of learning activities are intended to engage and involve learners in the story about the teacher in-group and foster a learning community in how a teacher can use digital technologies in their classroom. The learning activities break down the course's main story and introduces the learners to authenticity and real complex problems about using digital technologies in the organizing of learning. However, as the MOOC uses the Future Learn platform, the course designer has limited possibilities in creating engaging learning activities. Part 3 Discussion. Although the field of instructional design is well established, the craft of instructional design of MOOC seems to be in the making. The MOOC field needs to push and put more focus on the instructional design of MOOCs as a mean to increase quality as indicated by Margarian. Today, many MOOCs are based on self-directed learning. meaning that online learners sign up or for MOSs without any having real course leaders present while the course runs. This aspect means limited expert feedback, but also that MOSs seldom have real educators to supervise and organize learning when the course takes place, implying failure to satisfy aspect of first principles of instruction. Also, the challenge with MOSs is that they become what they are massive, which causes other conundrums like information overload problems in the managing and organizing of discussion forums. Such factors increase the odds that creating an effective online community based on social learning can fail drastically. And the conclusion is the goal of this working paper is to mark the start of a research project by suggesting a conceptual framework on how a MOOC can look like by using storytelling and script writing as a pedagogical strategies to boost the quality in MOOCs in the instructional design of online courses. This can be one of several design strategies that MOOC creators can use to motivate learners to stay in the learning loop than dropping out. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your attention and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.